Hello everyone, welcome to 2017. Happy New Year, happy everything. I hope you're all really feeling the freshness of this new year now. I know coming into 2017 for me, I didn't necessarily feel that really fresh feeling of a new year right away. It was only really yesterday, which was my birthday. I turned 26 yesterday, that I really felt that fresh new beginning for me. And I believe that that's accessible to us all year round, every day. We can always access that, but there is collective energy floating around at this time of year, so it gets amplified. So I always feel like I have a really wonderful opportunity the weekend after New Year's, because it's my birthday and I really am entering my own personal new year. So I really felt the beginning of my new year starting yesterday, today. I feel like I'm really entering that beautiful new fresh perspective of 2017, because 2016 was wild. We made it. I think it was full of really big highs, but also it was a little bit like this. So we had highs, and maybe some people were experiencing some really big lows. I know that's happened for a lot of people. For me, it just felt like highs, but also challenges, like emotions, things coming up that I really had to look at. And 2017 to me feels like a little bit more lightness in my heart and a little bit more of a fresh perspective. And so I'm able to look at 2016 and go, okay, all right, well, I'm ready now. I can handle this. I can deal with that. I feel a little bit stronger. The reason I'm popping in today is I thought it would be a really good idea to share some of my own personal intentions, goals, tone for the year, and share my plans, I guess, for this year. And that's always open to change. This is just, my new year setting forth a couple of intentions, but I thought it would be nice to share them with you. So I've got them all written down in my book here. I actually wrote a little bit more of a detailed part at the back here. So this is just, I wrote down what I'm focusing on in 2017. And for me, something I'm really deep diving into at the moment is gut health. I've never really dived into it. I've been on this, I guess, my own health journey, exploring my body and figuring out what works for me for years now. But gut health is something I have never really dived into. And I've just been learning about it, and I've become really inspired to really start looking after my gut flora and rebuilding it. I've learned that your gut is responsible for 80% of your immune system, and if we don't have a healthy gut, all sorts of things can go on, all sorts of things can be happening. It can affect your brain function, it can affect your skin, it can just affect how you're absorbing nutrients. So I'm really deep diving into that at the moment, and the way that I'm doing that mainly right now is mega dosing on probiotics. Also taking in a lot of probiotic foods, but the main thing I'm doing is getting onto probiotics and really learning about the gut, researching and learning about it, and then experimenting with it and seeing how it's working in my body. So that's number one. The next thing that I'm really working on, and it kind of ties into my whole gut health thing as well, is skin health. For a long time, and this is kind of a long story, I've had a very big skin journey, but I'll break it down really quick. When I changed my diet years ago, my skin broke out really badly. I had the worst acne of my life, and it's taken a really long time to heal. It's been a really slow process, which it is when you're doing everything naturally and you're using organic, very natural skincare, and you're trying to heal from the inside out. It takes some time. It's not a quick fix. So when I went over to Peru last May, my skin completely cleared up. I wasn't using anything on it. My skin just seemed to really love the cold, dry climate. I was in the mountains, not the jungle. And when I got back to Australia, my skin started breaking out. And I realized that a very big part of my skin's breakouts and reactions is due to the climate. And that made me think, well, because I'm doing everything I can on the inside at that point, I hadn't been on the probiotics then, but at that point, I was like, well, maybe it's time to really start doing something topically. And for a long, long time, I've been using the cleanest, most pure, most natural, organic products I can find, and I've been so strict on what I would put on my skin, and I'm still very much like that, and I don't want to be using toxic chemicals on my skin. However, I've come to a point now where I will use the cleanest and most natural products I can on my skin, but within what works for me, and as long as they're not testing on animals as well, because that's really important to me. So I've come to that point with my skin, and I've got onto a good skincare line that I'm experimenting with at the moment, and this is where my focus with skin health is on using products that actually work for my skin, and maybe getting some regular facials as well. And so now I'm just using a cleanser and a vitamin A serum and the probiotics, and those three things in the last, I reckon, 2-3 weeks have changed my skin. My skin has really turned a corner and got next level better. So we'll see how that goes. That's still a journey for me. It's something I'm going to be adding to and monitoring and working on. So we'll see what happens there. Mind and body health. This is all around treating my body. Working in my new job at Naked Treaties, which I am loving, but it's a job where I'm on my feet all day and I'm working more hours than I have in a really long time as well. And my body is adjusting to that. And my body is craving touch. I know my back, my upper back, my shoulders, my neck just want to be touched. So I am making a little bit of a commitment to book in for regular massages, whether that's once a fortnight or once a month, whatever I can afford and whenever I feel that I really need it. So I'm just looking after my body in that way. I'm really treating myself to that. And I think that that's a great way for the mind to unwind and relax as well. So massages, a regular thing. I've got Spirit Health, which is all about travel and exploration. So one of my big plans this year is to return to Peru at the end of May. I've got more work to do there, I've got more journeying to do there, I've got more to learn there, and the journey just continues. So my plan is to head back to Peru at the end of May and spend a month there. But also exploring my own backyard, so I want to make time to go on some hikes and hike the mountains around my own home and Byron Bay. So I really want to do some more exploring as well. I've got money health. Now this is all around creating abundance and saving in abundance. Not something that I've really been great at in the recent years, to be honest. I used to be really good at saving. I guess that changed for me a few years ago. I'm not really sure why, but I've experienced a big shift since then. I've actually experienced a really big shift around that in the last 3 months. As soon as my new job at Naked Treaties started, something shifted, not only like physically what was coming in financially, but in my mind as well. And I've really been able to save, and also having a big goal like going back to Peru and really wanting to return there each year and travel more is a really big reason for me to tuck my money away. So every time I look at spending money on something, I think about whether that really needs to go to that or if I want to tuck that away for my adventures. So that's a big one, and I'm loving the shift that I've had within myself to be able to do that. Soul health. This is all about expanding my knowledge, researching. What I've got written here is expand knowledge, research, experiment, and then turn it into wisdom. Knowledge applied and then experimented with turns into wisdom. So this is all about, and I guess something I've been doing the last few years as well, but again, this is just coming back to that focus point. Really researching what I'm putting in my body and experimenting with things and finding out what really works for me. And every one of us is unique, every one of us is completely different, so I think it's really important to do that. Someone might tell you that something's really good for you and you can go, okay, all right, I'll try that. So try it, research it, so do a little reading on it, see if you feel that that's right for you, try it, experiment with it, sit with it and see how it feels in your body and whether that's actually working for you, if it's bringing you more vibrancy, if it's making you feel any better. And then that is really all the proof that you need. So that is what I'm focusing on. Those things are going to grow, change, expand, but they're my focus points and some of my plans. But something I really want to share with you just before I go is the prayer I had coming into 2016, last year's prayer. I usually pick a word leading into the new year, but last year I felt a really strong calling to a prayer that is often said in the cacao ceremonies that I have attended, and that is, show me the mountains I only dared to dream of. And I had a really beautiful moment in Peru on our last journey up a mountain before I was leaving. It was the last mountain we were hiking, and I sat at the top of this mountain looking out over the other mountains, and I opened the first page of my journal and it said, show me the mountains I only dare to dream of. And I just had this incredible magical moment, and I looked out over these mountains and I said, thank you for showing me the mountains I only dared to dream of. And so 2017, I was like, well, what's the prayer? Because that felt really strong for me. And I kind of want to do a 2.0 of that. It's kind of like, show me the mountains I only dare to dream of. Again, let's do it again, but let's do it with a little bit more courage. Let's do it with a little less fear. Gonna need a little bit of courage. And please, if that resonates with you, take it. Use it, because it's powerful and it's really potent, and it really worked for me and felt really good for me. I will speak to you guys again very soon.